So if you're looking for the best studio monitors for under $500, there are a lot of options. Whether you're looking for studio monitors that are 3 inches, 5, or even 8, pause. This video will be going over the best options under $500 and showing you the pros and the cons. Let me know in the comments if you could have any of these options in your home right now, which would they be? And if you do comment, you get a chance to win a giveaway, which I'm giving away the mini PC from Creative Devices. Also, follow them on Instagram, subscribe to this channel as well, and hit that like button and notification bell if you want more content like this. What's poppin', gang? I'm 30 Killer Beats, and I have a few options for you, regardless if you're broke as hell, and if you're looking for some studio monitors to really take your music production career to the next level. Week by week, month by month, I've been actually testing out a couple of studio monitors that I honestly think you should really be looking at, especially if your budget is under $500. And depending on your room situation, I'm also going to be going over different sizes of studio monitors that you should really consider as far as if you're thinking about doing anything smaller than 8. Shout out to Sounds for sending me all these studio monitors that I was able to test out, and I had a lot of fun, enjoyed playing with all these monitors and figuring out, which option is best for a certain type of individual. I highly recommend that if you're looking for any type of gear for your studio, definitely get it from Sounds. They support the channel. They also have affordable plans for you to get started and get that gear in your studio a lot sooner. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video for the conclusion of this whole entire thing. And don't forget to comment down below which studio monitors that I'm going to be mentioning that you will personally wish you had in your studio right now to enter the giveaway for the mini PC from Creative Devices. And shout out to them for sending that over, which is a really great computer for music production. Follow them on Instagram. So starting off, number 1, I have to go ahead and get this one off the list because I actually did a whole entire video on this, the KRK Classic 8SS by Scott Storch. If you want to watch that video, click the card at the top right. But that studio monitor is a really great option if you're looking for studio monitors under $500. And not only that, it comes with a really great design, which is like gold plated. It comes with foam on the bottom, which actually helps you with vibrations on your desk. So, if you don't have stuff like ISO pucks or something like that, which I highly recommend that you get if you're going to use studio monitors, you don't really need it as much with those studio monitors because it has foam on the bottom. So with these studio monitors, they do cost around $299. However, you go on Sounds website, you may be able to get a deal with them. And not only that, you can also do payment plans as well. So 3 pros about the KRK 8SS. One of them is that they have a lot of options as far as the inputs. They have RCA, XLR, and TRS. There's literally no excuse not to hook this up into your studio. Another pro is that this thing is an 8-inch studio monitor, which is my personal favorite size for a home budget studio setup. 8 inches is like almost the pinnacle. So not only that, you do get really great lows as well, giving you a pretty flat sound. Even though I did notice there was a dip in the mids a little bit, here's the frequency response that I was able to get in my studio with this. Don't look at this 106 hertz frequency right here. That's just a little issue in my room. And this will be apparent on all the studio monitors in my room. So take that with all the grains of salt you can find. And the last pro is that this thing does come with the foam at the bottom. So it is really great for just sitting it on your desk, which can help with the vibrations and stuff like that, which none of these other studio monitors have. So you do have that option available with these studio monitors that come attached to them. So that's super great. Now, 3 cons is that it's not perfectly flat. There is a little bit of a mid-range issue that I found in my studio that I didn't find in some of these other studio monitors, even at a smaller size. This one did have a mid-range dip that you could use. Other things like Sound IG by SonarWorks, which you could actually use to fix your studio and room correction, or you can use the ARC Studio room correction tool by IK Multimedia, which is a really great option to help you with fixing the room correction in your room. So those are 2 really great options to help and kind of fix that. But another issue is that with that studio monitor, the KRK 8SS, it comes with a built-in peak reduction module, which you cannot turn off, which might be great if you're just planning on listening to music with these things or using these for like a home theater setup or anything like that. They look great, but if I'm mixing and mastering, I don't want any peak reduction or anything like that. Another con is that when you do boost the low end, it doesn't actually boost it by much. So if you're actually thinking I'm gonna turn up the low end with these and get a lot of bass, you're not. Next, let's talk about the Adam Audio T5V. Now, I honestly think these are some really great studio monitors, especially if you're looking for a 5-inch studio monitor for your particular room size. Maybe you have a really small room and you just wanted something just to fit in there and nothing that's too big, like an 8-inch monitor. These are a really great option. These studio monitors come in around $199, and not only that, I would consider these as like the German vehicles. This is like almost like a Mercedes-Benz in your studio. The build quality of this studio monitor is extremely nice, and honestly, I really do like the look of them. So 3 pros, I would say that I really do like the sound quality of these studio monitors, especially at a 5-inch. It was really great. I honestly enjoyed it compared to some other options that are 5-inch. Next, I would definitely say that the highs and the mids were extremely decent on these studio monitors. I was actually shocked. It was extremely crystal clear. And not only that, I definitely noticed that the sound stage actually pretty great. It sounded bigger than it actually was, even though these are 5-inch studio monitors. And another pro is that these are really small, really great for traveling, except for, you might want to be cautious that, these do have ribbons as tweeters, so you don't want anything magnetic or metal around those things at all. Now, 3 pros, I would definitely say that the low end was kind of terrible. Don't get these 5-inch studio monitors thinking, I'm about to get the most boomy, bassy studio monitors ever. You're definitely going to hear like kicks and stuff like that, but planning on hearing like some super low bass, just get a subwoofer. Another con is that this does not have a TRS input on it, which I personally do like having. And another con is that compared to the price and other options on the market, these are definitely considered pricey. That's why I would definitely say that these are like the Mercedes-Benz. Like, you could definitely get to A to B with the Honda, but you could also do it with the Mercedes. Next, let's talk about another studio monitor. This company decided to send it to me, which is the iLoud studio monitors from Multimedia. Shout out to you guys for sending these studio monitors out to me. They actually sent these monitors out in the perfect time, which I was in the middle of doing this video. I actually thought about just adding it to this list. These are some really great options if you're looking for like a 3-inch studio monitor you can easily travel with. And not only that, they do cost $278. If you do want these studio monitors cheaper, you can go to Zounds.com and get the open box version. And these are basically under $500, easy. These are super great. And not only that, it does come with the microphone, so you could actually use some of their studio correction, room correction tools, and that's super great as well. So under $500, you have the option to use these and fix the actual sound quality towards your room. And not only that, they're actually pretty flat. Here's the frequency response in my particular room that I was getting with these studio monitors, and you can see that they're actually pretty good. So 3 pros with these studio monitors, that actually comes with DSP power to actually run some of the room correction software that it actually comes with, which is super great. So you don't have to rely on your computer power. So, you can have really great flat responses in your room, especially when you're like mixing or you just want to reference your mixes on some smaller studio monitors. Next, another pro is that they have a lot of options as far as changing the sound depending on your room situation. Like if you have these on the desk, like if you could check the back of these and you could see that there are so many ways you could just change the sound depending on your room, which I highly recommend just using their room correction tool and the microphone that it comes with to just fix your room, and you just get a flat sound when you're in a mixing situation, unless you want them to sound super boomy, which they kind of already do. Another pro is that this thing does come with XLR RCA. Now, 3 cons, these speakers do only go all the way up to like 50 hertz, which is, it sounds great as far as low end. I do like the fact that it is ported, which means that there's a big hole in the front, which allows some of the bass to be extended. So you can kind of hear some of that low end rumble, but it's still a small speaker. So, if you want some of that real low bottom end, you definitely have to get a subwoofer. Another con, which may not technically be a con, depending on if you're looking for this kind of thing, is that it is a 3-inch speaker. So, don't expect like the sound to be super big, even though these speakers do get pretty loud. And not only that, they do sound better than some of the other studio monitors on this list, but we'll get to that. Just wait. And another con is that this thing is a little bit pricey compared to some of the other options that you get, but you do get a lot compared to some of the other options. Like I said, you get that microphone, you get the option to change the sound depending on your room to get a more flatter sound. And it's on Zounds.com where you can get the open box version to get this exactly under $500. So next, let's talk about the Kali Audio LP8. Now, in my personal opinion, I thought these sounded extremely great, like better than I actually thought, even though these do cost $249. You know, these are a really great option if you want to get started with your music production career. These studio monitors were super flat. Here go the frequency response in my room. And I honestly thought, like, yeah, these are pretty great sounding studio monitors overall for sure. So 3 pros, you get RCA, TRS, and XLR inputs, the 3 pinnacles, like just really great for almost anything. So there's no excuse not to hook this up into your studio setup. Another pro is that the sound is like literally almost flat. Like there's no excuse to not use these for like a mix and a master session at all. With the price that you're getting for this thing, it's almost like this is a steal. Another pro is that out of all the other options, I would definitely say this had the best mid-range for sure. I just can't say anything bad about the sound quality. Anything else that I'm going to say about the cons, I'm really just trying to bring up things just to say or just to add about the cons. So don't take anything else like to heart. So 3 cons. One of them is that with these studio monitors, it's not a whole lot of low end that you get with them. Regardless of any of these options that you get, definitely get a subwoofer. Some might actually say the low end is decent or great enough or good enough. Another con with these studio monitors is that these speakers are pretty tall. So depending on your setup, you know, you might want to turn them sideways, but with these studio monitors, you can't do that because of how they're designed. Now, if you prefer to turn your studio monitors sideways and lay them down flat, then you definitely want to look at the IN version instead of the LP, because that is an actual 3-way studio monitor and you could actually turn those sideways. And another con is that I'm really not a fan of the controls in the back. You know, if you have small nails, you might actually start hurting your fingers when you're trying to change controls and stuff like that. You might actually want to use a knife or a butter knife to just try to change some of the settings. I mean, like I said, I'm really nitpicking as far as the cons and stuff like that with these studio monitors. They're actually a really great option if you want to get into doing some really great work with mixing and mastering or even just making beats. So next on this list is the Yamaha HS5s. Now, these are some really great options that are around $199, so you could definitely get these for under $500. And they almost look like the Pinnacle. They almost look like HS8s. Or like maybe you just have a smaller room, you know what I'm saying, and you just want smaller speakers. You could definitely get these as a great option to start making beats with. They have a really great sound as far as like the kicks. I do like how the kicks sound. However, these are the frequency response. This is the results that I was able to get. And as you can see, I did have like a dip in the highs. It is a great option that if you really prefer Yamahas and you only have a budget under $500, here you go. So 3 pros, these are really small enough to take almost anywhere. Another pro is that these do have a really simple design. And another pro is that you do get some really solid kicks on these studio monitors. I do like how those sound. So 3 cons. One of them is that you can definitely hear the kick, but it's not enough to really hear like the 808. 808s come out like hums, like sound like like that's how an 808 sound on these studio monitors. You would have thought you were in a whole native tribe right now just listening to music. So the 808 part was definitely my second con. Another con is that the sound output does not hit as hard as like some of these other studio monitors. Like even though the iLoud studio monitor from IK Multimedia, those sound louder than the Yamaha HS5s for some reason. I don't know why, but so let me know in the comments, which one of these studio monitors do you feel comfortable with the most, that you really feel like can be perfect for your studio setup? To summarize this whole entire video, if you're looking for like a 3-inch or a 5-inch studio monitor, I would definitely say that the Adam Audio T5V is probably the best option. It's for like a smaller room setup. I thought that the sound sounded extremely flat. And not only that, the sound stage was actually really good. It sounded bigger than 5-inch monitors, but you know, the only part that made them sound exactly like 5-inch monitors is that the fact that, you know, you didn't have that much bass. So, I mean, hey, regardless of any of these options on this list, definitely get a subwoofer if you want to feel that bass. Now, if you're looking for 8-inch monitors, I would definitely have to give it to the Kali Audio LP8s. Now, those sounded completely flat to me. That sounded ready to go for mixing, mastering, and productions. If you wanted to make beats with those, you could definitely hear the 808. You could definitely do it as well with the KRKs. Let me know in the comments what you think about these studio monitors. And not only that, let me know what other videos you want to see on this channel. And make sure you add me on on Instagram, TikTok, and X. Thank you for watching the video. And YouTube says this video right here is for you. I don't know why, but YouTube says this video is the one you need to be watching. So make sure you click on that video. YouTube, I don't know. It might be a reason. You might like this video for sure. So go ahead and click on this one.